And look at that. Glory, kavod. This is all from the number 44. So again, and redeem, about waiting. And yeah, we've had to go through some pain while we've been here. This word, by the way, khul, speaks of parturition, so the birthing process. And that's actually pretty exciting for me to hear, because most of us that have gone through pain and suffering, it's been purpose to be able to reveal what? The goldenness through the 44, through the two twin paths of mother and father. So let's go back now to the verse. I think I shared enough with you, but again, the biggest thing I wanted to share with you was about the flaming heart, because that is exactly what is being ignited right now. So in the verse, Jeremiah 44:14, the reason why I really wanted to share this with you was because, you read something that's in English and it says, okay, so none shall escape or survive of the remnant of Judah who have gone to dwell there in the land of Egypt, lest they return to the land of Judah to which they desire, a desire to return and dwell there, for none shall return for except those who escape. Well, I can tell you that this verse does not read anything like this in the English. Again, some of these narratives and the translations are keeping us from the truth of what's being said. And the main focus was the remnant. I saw this and I had to go share it with Ken because I got really excited about it. Because this right here, minus the lamed, the root of this, sharit, is the same exact gematria as in Genesis 1:1. Reshit. This is Resh Aleph Sheen, but in Jeremiah, it's Sheen Aleph Resh. So these words are exactly the same. We just have numbers, or sorry, the letters in different order. And in this case, we have a lamed added to it. So this is a teacher, the one who instructs in the ways of mother and father, that is the door that will deliver to you what you need to deliver yourself. If you go through the fire, the purifying fire, that will reveal to you how to become one, the one love, raising you up from being poor and destitute to a first fruit leader, where now you have the power, means, and direction that is given through what? The frequency of love. They have been sealed in this covenant. This is the mark that we are all wanting, the mark that they tell you that we shouldn't take. This is the mark that they're wanting you to look the other way. That's why they've hidden that kayutha as the same word in Revelation chapter 13 for the beast, as the same word in Revelation chapter 6 as the living creatures that open the scrolls. So this is a big deal. This mark is huge because this means that you are now vibrating at the frequency of unconditional love. So quickly, let's take a look at this here. So that none. This Vav tells us that we're connected in humility to Mother's teaching. You are teachable. And lo, although it means not, all it's saying is that a teacher of light, a shepherd, is going to come and teach you the way of one. You don't know it yet. That's why you are not versus, is. you need to be instructed in the ways of one. And this word is the root haya, where we actually get yod he vav he from. And whenever you see two portions of a word that are exactly the same, they're mirror images, this is a representation of the cherubim that are on the Ark of the Becoming, the Ark of the Testimony, the Ark of the Covenant, representation of male and female, mother and father, divine feminine, divine masculine. So we have the power, means, and direction that is given through a vision that is going to reveal the power, means, and direction of the second revelation. So if you were to morph this out in the fullness of becoming, this would be Yod He, Vav He. And this means to be, to become, to come to pass. Then when we look at the word escape, let's go to this. I know I'm running through this quickly, but I want your spirit to hear this. So this is an escaped one. It says it's a refugee, but let's trace it back a little bit further. What is this saying to us? It says to escape. To slip out, escape, to deliver. Well, what are we delivering ourselves from? The root of this word is a pei, lamed, tet. So pei is the mouth, lamed is a shepherd's staff, authority, and then the tet is wrestling in the basket with the snake, in the mud, in the mire, to choose. So the mouth is bringing forth a revelation, pei he, to you, as the teacher is instructing you how to teach your heart, but you are going to have to wrestle it. Now, this is the root, so it's static. It's kind of like a lump of clay that has all this potential, but it needs to be activated. So what changes when we see it in the written form? The yod. That beautiful vision that is given, the power, means, and direction to be able to find what is necessary by going inward through the door to your heart, where you find all the answers that has been placed within. This is someone that has gone through the process and has been given the ability to deliver themselves. This word, shared, means survivor, remnant, that which is left, a survivor. And in this root, we have a yod placed in again. So this vision has been placed within their heart and root. And what did they do? They connected to Mother's teaching in humility, which is the consuming fire to raise their head to become a first fruit. And notice, this is the fire of the Father. That's why the dot, the gesh, is on the left-hand side, representing his teaching and his consuming fire. This is what fully delivers you. And then that makes you of the remnant. So this word here means remnant, and this one also means rest. Did you see that? It means rest. We've been talking about that. And the remnant. What is left? Same thing, same as Genesis 1:1. But now these are the teaching shepherds of light that come to lead and help assist, and they are going to be presenting themselves in the form of Mother first, just like Yeshua, because the world needs to learn the golden rule once again. We've gotten to the place of unruliness. The year of 2020 definitely showed us that, and this needs to be taught. Judah means praised. And so, look at this, you guys. If we were to take the dalet out, you would have yod he vav he. So, those who are praised are the ones that have the teachings of Mother, and they were connected to Father, but they found the door to their inner man. They actually became a door. They are a portal to assist others, and these are those that are the praised ones. This is this is big. Yehuda. Who have gone? These are those that are going to come and go, who have built the one love. They are going to be revealed as the mothers, who are going to be coming and going, thinking of that portal that they found, being able to materialize in and out of the realm as they carry this seed vision that is the power, means, and direction they want to give it, so that you can go through the waters, both Mother and Father, and be completed as one who is of the sea, a representation of Ashurah, Queen of Heaven. Gur, this means to sojourn, to be a stranger, to dwell for a time, to stay temporarily. I don't need to go into that, but look at this. You are temporarily here as a sojourner to be a teaching shepherd of light to others, to instruct, help instruct the ways of Mother. Like I said in the word before, you're going to be revealed as those who have already built themselves in the one love. And it is our job to gather, Gamel, to gather what is necessary and to find and gather the other teachers of light who have been connected to their heart and are being raised up to be the first fruit leaders, who are of the name. They have gone through the fires of purification and the living waters. They are those of the named who have honor, authority, and character, and who are going to be seen as having a very conspicuous position. Where? In the land, the Oretz. And why are they conspicuous? Well, because they built themselves. Bet Tov. They took the spiritual path. They learned through the 222, the two paths of the letters, in order to build themselves spiritually through covenant, the one love that raised them up to be first fruit leaders who were once poor and destitute. And they had to hunt and chase and desire this while in the fallen realm. Anytime you see a sophit, a letter that has fallen below the line, then that means that it has to do with the material world. So the Eretz, instead of the Adama, which they both mean like land or earth, but this one tells you that this is in the place of the fallen plane, that they're going to have to hunt and chase and desire this journey. They have to start it out. But that's exactly why we are here, to learn these things so that we can come and go as the first fruit leaders, to be able to assist. And again, that resh, it's in a bent position, so they're always in a humbled position. Then Mitzrayim is interesting because the very root of this word means to cramp and confine. Notice the letters on the outside of the word, mem, yod, mem. That's why mayim. So the whole point of being in a place where you're cramped and confined and you feel the squeeze is because this is where the living water teachings come to you, so that you can enter into the mother's womb spiritually again, so that she can begin to teach you the golden rule. Then that way you will be able to receive the power that comes from the Father's teaching to be completed and be part of those, the Queen of Heaven, that are at the right hand, that are the Kodashim. They are the holy ones. And what did they do? They they now have been risen up, and their journey is no longer in this earth realm. It's been risen. It's a spiritual journey that they hunt. They went on the hunt and they chased after that raised them up to be that first fruit. I know I'm going through this fast, but I just want you to hear it in your spirit. And we have this beautiful word, shuv, meaning to turn. Turn and return. And look at that. They've connected themselves, they've humbled themselves to the position of mother as teaching shepherds of light that have gone and they have turned. What have they turned? Well, they went through the fires of purification, they connected to their heart, and they built love. This Pesach means to separate, but it's also dimensional, and it is spelled Pe Semek Kuf, which means the mouth that brings forth revelation of the Semek, which is the wedding ring, the place where you're propped up, supported, hedged in with a shield of thorns that protect you, and Kuf, where they've compressed light during the circle of time. They found the narrow path in the system of duality between the light and the dark. They are separated from those that are in the lower earth. Because notice this word is static. Nothing is going on right here. So these people who have turned, that are the teaching shepherds of light, have been separated from those who have not been activated, that are in the lower realms, in the Eretz. Then we have those who are of the praised, that have the door. They've gone through the door of the inward man, and they become portals themselves. And notice the diamond above? That is, it means quadrated. We have shared that before. I may take some time to do that, but not right now, because I think my husband has covered that in some of the teachings that we're going to be sharing over the next 10 days. But these are the praised ones, and that also means a gift from God. So there are those that are of the praise, that have gone through both teaching patterns, mother and father. It's two different faces of the same coin. Mother teaches the divine masculine, the linear approach, and the father teaches the divine feminine, which is the spiral spirit portion. Think of the golden mean ratio and the Fibonacci sequence, which is how everything is formed and created in this world. And so these are the praised ones that are a gift from God. They are the gems of the earth, and they have fire upon their heads. We've seen that they have fire within their hearts, and they are going to be revealed by both mother and father, that they are of the living waters. They carry both of those revelations, and they will be revealed in those. The desire, I love this. This is the word nasa, meaning to lift up, to bear up, lift up, to take away and carry off. This is actually the term, the root for nesuin, nuptials in the wedding, about us being lifted up and carried away in the day of our wedding. And look at what's on the front, the prefix and the suffix. We have the mem and the yod mem, the living waters. They have been carried away, and they are lifted up through the living waters, which means that if they are being lifted up, they are no longer in the waters of chaos. They are in the waters above. And what are the waters above? The Hashamayim, the heavens. And how did they do it? Well, through the strong love. They were the first and the last, the beginning and the end, through the sacred languages, because this is shorthand that lets you know that they went through the Aleph and the Tav, the first letter of the Aleph Bayit Ivri, the Hebrew alphabet, through the last letter. So these are the strong leaders who have been marked with a different sine wave signature frequency that says that they are exempt from judgment in the lower realms. And why is that? Because they no longer judge. They found unconditional love. They have the mark of the covenant, the mark that we desire, that we must be marked with, that is changing our signature frequency of our being. And this is something that we desire. Nefesh is at the soul level. So we desire this at our soul level, the whole process of being here, so that we can be part of the name, those who are of the name, that are named. And if you're named, then that means you're in the book of life. You've become the book of life. You went through the purification fires and the waters, and you are of those that had their desire from their soul fulfilled. And why? Because they turned. What they do, they turned to love. They built love by connecting it in their heart. And they are teachers of that. Almost done. We're getting close to the end. Shabbat, we talked about this in a previous teaching with Ken. This is the Sabbath rest. These are teachers of the Sabbath rest. And we said that the Sabbath rest was turning Shuv to building, Bet Tav, building love through. This is the second letter, and Tav is the 22nd letter. So how did they do it? How did they find rest? Since that's what the Sabbath is all about. They found love. They turned and built love, which is the fiery love that they connected at the heart level. They are those that are of the name, that have been purified. They grasped a hold, they turned their cup, and they filled it with the power. And they are the work and the deed of the hand that is going to deliver this to other people, as they have become the teaching shepherds that will go to nurge you on in the way of one. So that, notice this is a makaf, and this is mem, kaf pei. So what are they doing? They are teaching you the way of one through mem, the waters, mother and father, kaf, which is a kaf pei, if you choose to turn your hand upright as a cup and be filled with the speech that brings forth revelation. This one right here has to do with breadth and width. The basak above, the dimensional one that we talked about the setting apart, this has to do with height and depth. This has to do with the queen, becoming queen, and this one has to do with becoming the bride. This is what we have to do first. So the teaching shepherd has to come to teach you the way of one so that you can at least enter into bride status, which means that you have been betrothed. And mother is going to give you the power and means to turn. That's what this teaching shepherd does, is gives you the vision, painting it for you so that you can turn, have your heart pierced, activating your heart chakra, and being connected to the Father, now having power in meekness, because you have been given the keys. It's not an accident that this is pronounced this way. Now your cup is completely filled. You have the power. You've grasped a hold of the power of the language. You've been given the power of the right hand. You are now a mother, um, because you've become one with the living water teachings, having completed it, and you are one who has what? Delivered yourself. Because we already talked about this, about escaped. Refugee, remember that? Through the mouth, the language that the teaching shepherd brings to you that you're going to have to wrestle in this world. You have delivered yourself. So that was a lot to go through, but I did want to point this out to you, that this whole verse is not what it said. So when you hear people speak of the remnant, at least now you know what the remnant is. The remnant are those who are the teaching shepherds that have the ways, teaching of mother, the golden rule. and they've been given the power, means, and direction from the Father, and they are sealed through His teaching. Is really the only way that you can get this mark, this one, is it must be revealed to you. And in the sacred languages, the letters of light, His teaching is what fully changes you so that you can cast out all fear, eliminate the beast ego nature that says that we are separated, and learn and know without a shadow of a doubt, da'at, the word yada, this is the tav on the end of da'at, which means the knowing has happened through experiential knowledge because what? You have become it. Therefore, you are marked with a different frequency signature. This is who the remnant are. So I hope that clarifies much for you. I know that I was in the process when I was in Christian church. I used to call myself the remnant. Maybe I was prophesying over to myself because this was way before I even was introduced to the language. So what am I doing right now? I am prognosticating this over you. There is a way for us to go through this, and even though it feels like time is short and we're in the compression of time, it is not too late to raise your vibrational frequency. And even though this seems like it's a monumental task, because there have been those that have hoed this path and made it available, it will be a quick work for you. It was a slow go for us, but we are trying to help assist. So if you decide to start studying these languages of light, these sacred letters of light, so that you too can be of this frequency, much work has already gone into it ahead of time so that you can easily access this, because those new neural pathways have been set within the collective conscious so that you can find your way quicker, so that your path can be made straight. I hope this helps. I know it was a lot, but I felt a sense of urgency that I needed to get this out today. So thank you so much. Please leave your comments, ask questions. I'd love to dialogue with you about this. Shalom, shalom, and namaste.